local, breaking news. This is WYFF News 4 at 6 in high definition.
And we begin with some breaking news out of Greenville County. Tonight, officials tell us a woman's body was found near Travelers Rest a short time ago. We don't know very much right now, but here's what we can tell you.
Officials say a woman went into a home on Lindsay Lake Road. They say she found a woman dead on the floor. Investigators are on the scene. We're still working to bring you more details. We'll have those updates for you on WYFF4.com and tonight on WYFF News 4 at 11.
It was an emotional day in court. Today, the victim of a sex assault faced the man who admitted to the crime. That upstate race car driver won't spend any time in prison after admitting he sexually assaulted a child.
WYFF News 4's Mandy Gaither has more from Anderson County.
Ralph Carnes pleaded guilty here today to 1 count of lewd act on a minor. His negotiated plea, 8 years suspended down to 3 years probation, meaning he won't see any time in prison.
Are you guilty?
Yes.
It's the words a 16-year-old girl had been longing to hear, an admission of guilt from Ralph Carnes, who sexually assaulted the teen when she was a child.
We do admit the inappropriate touching only.
Okay, well, I need to hear it from him.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Yes.
All right, is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Other charges Carnes had been facing were dropped. The state says there wasn't any evidence since the crime happened between 2001 and 2010. So there was an agreement for Carnes to plead guilty only to lewd act.
I'd just like to say I'm very sorry.
That was the only statement Carnes made in court, and he looked down as the victim had harsh words for him.
There's no punishment substantial enough to make me or my family okay with what you did, but I hope this haunts you for the rest of your life.
After court, the victim's grandfather said he doesn't feel as though justice was served or hiding his identity to protect his granddaughter.
I know they plea bargain and all that stuff like that, but it just ain't right that a man does that. He should at least have to serve some kind of time. It just ain't right.
Carnes, who races cars at Anderson Motor Speedway, had been facing up to 15 years in prison for that charge. As part of the plea deal, Carnes will have to register as a sex offender and be on GPS monitoring. Mandy Gaither, WYFF News 4 in Anderson County.
To see the victim's entire statement read aloud in court, you can go to our website, WYFF4.com. There you'll also find a statement of support for Carnes issued today by some of his family members.
Several students with special needs were involved in a bus wreck in Spartanburg this morning. This happened just before 7:30 on Highway 11 at East Frontage Road. It's near Prison Camp Road. Campobello police say a car ran a stop sign and hit the bus. The driver and passenger of the car were both Chapman High School students. They were taken to the hospital with some minor injuries. The students with special needs were on the bus, and one of those students was taken to the hospital for observation.
Nothing you ever want to happen, but everything was good. The bus driver and everybody just was fantastic.
Campobello police tonight are investigating.
A double shooting in Spartanburg County this morning is under investigation tonight. The shooting was at the Campus Edge Apartments. That's right by the USC Upstate campus. The school tells us its students were not involved. Dispatch says the call came in at about 3:40 in the morning. Officials say 2 people were shot, no word on their conditions. Witnesses told us they heard 3 gunshots, and when one man looked outside, he saw 2 people lying in the street. One of the victims in the shooting was wanted by the sheriff's office in a different case. Rosandre Boozer is accused of kidnapping and assaulting a USC Upstate student. Deputies say the student was taken to the ATM and forced to give up his PIN number. Investigators say once Boozer leaves the hospital, he will be taken to jail on armed robbery, kidnapping, and assault and battery charges.
Well, college move-in day was months ago, of course, but several students at Clemson University still haven't been able to move into their apartments. After months of delays, some buildings at the Clemson lofts still aren't ready. WYFF News 4's Liz Loheis is live and local in Clemson with a story tonight. Liz?
I'm live here at the Clemson Loft Apartments, where inspectors say 3 buildings are still not up to code. Students who signed a lease to live in those buildings were expecting to move in today, but many found out last night they could not. The city says the buildings have too many violations and are not safe. We spoke with a student who did finally get to move in today, but she's been living in a hotel since August.
It's 2 girls sharing a hotel room with limited amount of space and no washing machine. I'm trying to be really understanding, but at this point I'm like, I just need a home. I just need a home.
and was told no comment. Coming up tonight at 11, we hear from a father who's very frustrated with this situation, and he still doesn't know where his daughter will be staying this weekend. Liz Loheis, WYFF News 4, live in Clemson.
Thank you, Liz. Turning to the topic of Ebola now. Many of you are hearing increasing reports of suspected cases of Ebola in the U.S. And we are trying to exercise caution when reporting these cases. Most of them turn out to be negative. That's because doctors are taking extra precautions while testing patients. We will do our best to report only confirmed cases or cases that have evidence to support that there could be a development of that virus. 2 Dallas healthcare workers with Ebola are in different hospitals on the East Coast. Amber Vinson is at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. The head of the CDC says she's ill but stable. Nina Pham is at a hospital in Maryland. The National Institutes of Health says she is expected to recover from the virus. A 3rd hospital employee is isolated on a cruise ship. Officials say she is not showing symptoms. All 3 were part of a team that treated Thomas Eric Duncan. He's the first and only Ebola patient to die in the U.S. President Barack Obama today named an Ebola czar. He tapped Ron Klain to head the post. Klain is a former chief of staff for Vice President Joe Biden. The White House said that Klain would report to National Security Advisor Susan Rice and to Homeland Security and Counterterrorism Advisor Lisa Monaco. Pilots from the Charleston Air Force Base are taking supplies to Western Africa, and the pilots say they are taking extreme caution. The pilots say they do not shake hands. The plane is on the ground for just a few hours. Some crew members never leave their jets. The pilots so far have flown 5 missions into Liberia and Senegal. A North Carolina drug maker says it has the green light to test an experimental drug against Ebola. The drug was used on Thomas Eric Duncan in Dallas, but he died from Ebola. It's also being used on Ebola patient Ashaka Mukpo in Omaha. The drug is called Brincidofovir. The company, Chimerex, is in Durham. Greenville County Schools have just told us they have a plan to address possible concerns. Beginning Monday, parents of new enrollees will be asked a series of questions designed to determine if a student has significant risk factors. Any student identified through the screening process will not be enrolled pending medical clearance. The district also asked for parents to notify them if the family travels to an area impacted by the Ebola virus.
The topic of Ebola has now made its way into Georgia politics. It's a much debated subject now in the middle of a heated U.S. Senate race in Georgia. Republican Senate candidate David Perdue wants to restrict travel from the West African nations where the outbreak has occurred. His Democratic opponent, Michelle Nunn, initially said no to a travel ban, but she has since reversed her position. Governor Nathan Deal, who faces a tough re-election fight right now, has tried to reassure people that Georgia is prepared. South Carolina's junior Senator Tim Scott says the president should enforce a temporary travel ban from West Africa. Senator Scott says airport screenings and self-reporting by travelers have not been enough. He says over-the-counter medications can mask early symptoms of Ebola. North Carolina Senator Kay Hagan and Congressman Mark Meadows have also called for a travel ban.